What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of The Breakdown. And so last night on Showtime Boxing, Erislandy Lara took on Jarrett Hurd, with Jarrett Hurd, to a lot of people's surprise, pulled off the upset over Erislandy Lara, even dropping him late in the 12th round. No matter what you thought the decision would have been before he dropped him in the 12th round, the fight was a competitive fight, and Showtime's proved once again that is the best place, the best network to watch boxing on, bar none, doing a lot better than HBO. But let's get back to the fight itself. This is a fight that I watched from start to finish. And early on, Erislandy Lara tried to use his slick style, tried to keep Hurd at distance, tried to counter Hurd. Coming into the fight, we knew that Jarrett Hurd was a fighter that was going to keep coming forward. That's just what he does to all of his opponents. And we knew that Erislandy Lara was a guy that was going to fight on his back foot, try to, to essentially use more of that Floyd Mayweather style, fight on your back foot, wait until your opponent who's coming forward makes a mistake and try to counter him. And Erislandy Lara did that early. He hit Jarrett Hurd with some solid shots early, but as the fight waned and as the fight kept going, Jarrett Hurd just kept coming. And Jarrett Hurd was a bigger guy. Jarrett Hurd had the arm length. He could have fought on the outside versus Lara, but instead of doing that, he just kept coming. He kept smothering him, and late in the fight, Lara, there was nothing that Lara could do. His punches had less and less effect the later and later they went, and Jarrett Hurd's punches had more and more effect the later and later the fight went. Going into the 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds, you even started to notice that Erislandy Lara's right eye had become cut and had become swollen and was bleeding. He was bleeding from the mouth. And he just got manhandled by Jarrett Hurd, who was just too much for Erislandy Lara to face. And I know that I think it's Jermell Charlo, the 154-pound twin out of Houston, he was looking forward to fighting Erislandy Lara, but now he has something else to think about when it comes to Jarrett Hurd, because Jarrett Hurd is going to be tough for anybody, and I mean anybody, to stop at that 154-pound weight class. Even if he moves up to 160, because he is a bigger guy, he's still going to be very, very tough with that coming forward style. He seems to be a guy that can take a punch, but he can also dish out punches too. I'll be honest, folks, I've never seen Lara get beat like this. This is Lara's third loss on his career record, but this is really Lara's, if you really follow Lara's career, this is Lara's first true loss. The Canelo Alvarez fight was controversial. And then when he fought Paul Williams, I believe he beat Paul Williams, and the judges robbed him. So really, in Lara's two losses, in his first two losses, those could be argued to be controversial. Here, there is no controversy. He got beat, and he got beat pretty soundly. And I think even without the knockdown, I still had Lara losing to Jarrett Hurd. But the knockdown all but sealed Erislandy Lara's fate. And so now where does Erislandy Lara go from here? Because he was a guy that he seemed to be very, very cocky, as if nobody could touch him. Well, now he really has been touched. He's been dropped. I don't think I've ever seen anybody drop Erislandy Lara, not to my knowledge. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. But this guy touched Lara, and he touched him early, and he touched him often. And this guy, Jarrett Hurd, has now put himself on the map as he unified a couple of titles last night, already coming in with the belt, and then obviously taking one of the belts that Lara had as well. So he's definitely put himself on the map to earn some really good money going forward in his career. And he's got some options now. He could take on Jermell Charlo, who I believe has another one of the belts. Or he could move up to 160 and try to test the waters there. If I were managing him, that I'm not, but just say if I was, I would tell him to go fight Jermell Charlo and take that belt as well, because Jermell Charlo's definitely got something to think about now, because Jermell Charlo, he's not a fighter that is as slick as a fighter as Erislandy Lara, and we saw what happened to Lara. So what would Jermell Charlo do to defend against this big guy that just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming? And he seems to be able to take a punch, and he also seems to be able to dish out a punch as well. So this is a fighter that we should see for many, many years to come. I definitely did not expect him to win. I have watched some of his fights before, but definitely did not expect to see him beat Erislandy Lara in the fashion that he beat him. I mean, he had Erislandy Lara's head snapping back on those uppercuts when they were locked in close. And, you know, Lara is supposed to be a guy that's supposed to be able to stick and move. And he tried to do that early, as I said, but there was just nothing that he was able to do. And so that was my observation of the fight. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Jarrett Hurd moving forward, and who should he fight next? And where does Erislandy Lara go from here? I mean, he has to pick up the pieces, and I don't think he's going to be able to get a rematch with Hurd. I think Hurd had mentioned that there's really no reason to rematch Erislandy Lara, and I can kind of see that, because what does he have that you want? You already beat him. You took his belt. He's got nothing that you want. So I think it's time to move forward, in my opinion, for him to go fight Jermell Charlo. And we'll see where Lara goes from here, and how does he pick up the pieces from here, because I know his pride has got to be shook. It's got to be cracked a little bit. So what do you guys think? Leave a message or leave a comment down in the comment section. What did you think of the fight? And overall, what did you think about Showtime and what they got coming up? I'm out.